Give us some information, some sort of biography as to your interest in chiropractics and what led you up north.
Sure. Well, from the time I could talk, I wanted to be a doctor. It was just one of those things I knew. And so I was going in the direction of traditional, because I didn't know anything else growing up. And then got interested in orthopedics, because I had some serious injuries from motorcycle accidents and such. And then I got kind of turned off to it because I had a serious injury and they didn't have any solution for it. And so I started looking into alternatives and was introduced to chiropractic and helped the neck problem, because the problem I had in high school, I actually was paralyzed on the football field from someone landing on my neck. And that lasted about 30 minutes and they didn't have a solution for me. So I went to a chiropractor finally, and I didn't even know what the word was when I first heard about it. I was about 18 years old. And really got interested in it because I didn't really like working in hospitals, didn't really agree with that whole thing because I was more health oriented growing up in Venice, California, Southern California.
By the beach.
By the beach, and so I was always very much into sports and health and got turned on to chiropractic. And I always really loved the philosophy of chiropractic, which is that the body is built to heal itself and the nervous system controls and coordinates every function of the human body. Really like that. What I found as I got into practice, though, was that many times the traditional techniques didn't really get to the source of the problem. Mm-hmm. I could find a vertebra, the subluxation, misalignment of the spine, correct it, but the person would come back with the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
So that's when I got introduced into more deeper, perhaps more esoteric forms of healing. First applied kinesiology, which is a professional approach to touch for health, which many people may have heard about, and then into the bioenergetic synchronization technique developed by Dr. M.T. Morter Jr. and started going to his programs in 1986.
And where was he based?
He's in Rogers, Arkansas, actually, and he was going around the country teaching this technique he was developing, which he started developing in the mid-70s, and I was introduced to him in 1986. And he had the answers I was looking for.
And maybe we should focus in on this, would you call it bioenergetic synchronization techniques?
Yes.
And it also can be abbreviated into B.E.S.T.
B.E.S.T. we usually say, because it's
Right.
just a big mouthful.
Yeah. So in learning about B.E.S.T, what attracted you to it? And I assume you're a practitioner of that technique.
Exactly. Not only a practitioner, I'm a master practitioner in it. Since I've been doing it 21 years, I'm actually an instructor, and I go around the country teaching the technique to other people.
And so how would you describe it?
It is, the main focus is to get to the underlying cause, because we know that a subluxation, a misalignment in the spine, can create symptoms. But if it keeps coming back, what is causing it?
Okay.
So we're constantly going back to identifying what is the cause, and that cause is really interference. Interference in the communication systems of the body, because again, that's what the nervous system does. It's kind of like that commercial on TV, can you hear me now, can you hear me now? If there's a distortion in the nervous system, you're not going to get a clear message.
Right.
So that's going to result in muscle imbalances and organ dysfunction. So the muscles actually control structure. If you think about structure, bones, it's basically passive. It's the muscles that are active. Mm-hmm. So by the time you get a subluxation, you know that there's been interference for a long period of time because the muscles no longer can support against gravity. So you start to have a shift. So we really address what is the cause of this underlying muscle imbalance pattern, what are the causes of these underlying organ problems, because the nervous system controls and coordinates every function of the body. So every cell, every tissue, every organ, every system has to be in communication. So really it's about evaluating the communication and getting to the underlying causes, which are basically physical, chemical, and emotional in nature, which Dr. Morter calls trauma, toxicity, and thoughts, which lead to what we call timing problems, the body performing a correct function at an incorrect time.
So the idea that thoughts can influence our physical condition, that our emotions have an influence on our health, is pretty basic.
Absolutely. And in actuality, it has a more profound effect on your body function than all the other factors, because, you know, thoughts are unrelenting. The body does not function from your conscious mind. It functions from your subconscious mind, Because can you imagine if you had to consciously run your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your pancreas, your spleen, consciously? I'd forget something. And I'm pretty good, but I'd forget something. So the subconscious is what runs the body, and it is an expression of your subconscious. And so symptoms many times are a way of your body, your subconscious, trying to get the message to you because you've missed it consciously. Now the body has to express it. And the problem is once it becomes a symptom, it's not really clear what it means. That's why we have looked at in our traditional ways of medicine and such, looking at the outside-in factors. Oh, let's control this symptom. We don't like this symptom. I have a headache. I have allergies. I have fatigue, whatever it might be. I'm going to treat that rather than saying, what might be causing this? And that's the emphasis, is to look at cause.
Right.